Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we have game number 2 in Westbarks versus the Viewers, the little series that we're starting up. Very exciting today. We've got Howling Griffins. Mark has come along with a very lovely looking Howling Griffins army, and they are playing against my Word Bearers, which is going to be quite interesting. See if I can do better with them in 8th than I did in 7th. We are playing 2,000 points of Deadlock, and we're playing the corner square deployment with the circle cut out of the middle. I will be deploying in this corner over here. Objective wise, we have number 3 in the building there, number 5 just in the ruins, number 2 down on the corner of that building, 6 in the centre by the big statue. Coming around here, number 4 in the trees, and number 1 in the ruins at the back here. So the Howling Griffins are going to be deployed in this corner, overlooking the board there, and I will be deployed over there. So, let's get on and have a look at the armies. We'll be back after deployment. Okay, so here is 2,000 points of new Chaos Space Marines running as Word Bearers. It's a single battalion detachment, using the Codex and the Forge World Index Forces of Chaos, which we'll come to in a second. So, HQs, Warlord, we've got a Chaos Lord with Jump Pack. He's got the Cursed Crozius as his, or as the, what's it called, artifact, I suppose, that I'm taking this game, and just a Bolt Pistol. Second HQ, we've got a Sorcerer with Jump Pack. He's got Force Sword and Plasma Pistol. He is marked with Slanesh, and he has the psychic powers of Delightful Agonies and Warp Time. Into troops, we've got a 5-man squad of Chaos Space Marines with 1 plasma gun. Sergeant has a chainsword and bolter. Same again, 5-man with a plasma and chainsword on the sergeant. And another squad that's exactly the same over there. And a 15-man squad of Marines with bolt pistol and chainsword. In there are 2 melter guns. Champion has a power fist. They are marked Slanesh and have the icon of excess. It's going to be the little guy with the flag. Into elites, we've got a 10-man strong squad of possessed in there with Slanesh and the icon of excess. Icon is going to be the guy, this guy with the flames. So we'll remember that, he's the icon man. We've then got 2 Hellbrutes, one with twin las cannon, Hellbrute Fist and Heavy Flamer, one with twin auto cannon, Hellbrute Fist and Heavy Flamer. Into fast attack, we've got 8 Warp Talons, no mark on them, just a normal squad of 8 as they come. And then heavy support, we've got a squad of 5 Havocs with 4 missile launchers. Champion, I don't think has anything special. Nope, just a bolt gun on the champion. And then finally we've got the Hellforged Leviathan with Gravflux Bombard, the 2 flamers that he comes with, the Melter Gun and the Snippy Claw, which I've forgotten what it's called. Hellforged Siege Claw. So that's that. That is 2,000 points, ish, is slightly under, of Word Bearers. Right, and here we have 2,000 points of very lovely looking Howling Griffins. So for those that don't know, Howling Griffins are a successor of the Ultramarines. So we'll be running Ultramarines Chapter Tactics. This is a battalion detachment and a battalion detachment and a spearhead detachment. So HQ-wise,
okay, we've got a chaplain in Terminator armour with a Stormbolter.
Okay, this is the spearhead detachment, sorry, I've just confused you and we're doing it the other way around now.
That's fine. And then we've got 3 squads of Devastators, all 5-man. One of the squads is with grav cannons, and the other 2 squads have got 2 las cannons and 2 missile launchers each.
Okay, fantastic. And then into the battalion. Got these 2 HQs down here.
Okay. So the one on the left is the captain, he's the Warlord. He's got a grav pistol and a power maul. And then there's a lieutenant with a plasma pistol.
Cool. Both jump packs.
Both the jump packs, yeah. 5 sniper scouts, as is.
With cloaks, cool.
Then we've got 1 tactical squad, 10-man with heavy bolter, Flamer,
Yep.
and
Chainsword on the Sergeant?
Yes, I think it is, yeah.
Cool.
Then we've got 5 Intercessors, standard.
Yep. Sergeant with the pointy finger?
With the head, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Then 5 Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields.
Marvellous.
5-man jump assault squad.
Yep.
1 plasma pistol in there.
2 plasma pistols.
The sergeant's
got Sergeant, beg your
pardon.
pardon. Yep, okie dokes. Drop pod.
And then a drop pod.
Yep.
A Storm Talon with Skyhammers.
Yep.
And then the Storm Eagle.
Way too close on that one. Yep, so he's got las cannons.
Las cannons on the wings,
yep.
And then the Vengeance launcher on top.
Fantastic. Now I'm very interested to see how he does particularly, because I've got one sat in a box waiting to build.
Good luck building.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Right, so yes, that is 2,000 points of Howling Griffins, which is going to be very interesting up against the Chaos. Okay, and here we are back after deployment. Mark finished deploying first, so I will be having to seize if I want to try and steal the initiative. So let's start with what we've got over here. A Havoc squad with 4 missile launchers in the building there, holding on to Objective 3 for me. One of the Chaos Space Marine squads, the 5-man with the plasmas, sitting at the back. Second and third 5-man plasmas over here on the left. 10-man Possessed squad, 2 Hellbrutes, the Leviathan, the Chaos Lord in the centre, he's my Warlord, and he's running the Word Bearer's Rite of War, so he's got +3 inches to any auras that he may have. The 15-man squad over here with the Close Combat Weapons and Melter Guns, and in Deep Strike Reserve for me is the Sorcerer and the Warp Talons, so they'll be dropping in to join the party later on. And then coming around for the Howling Griffins, we have the Intercessors, I believe they are, sat on an objective here in the trees. 10-man tactical squad in the building at the back. One of the Devastator squads with las cannons and missile launchers. The Storm Talon and the other squad of las cannon missile launcher Devastators over there. Oh, and almost forgot the very sneaky scouts over there behind the fence. And in reserve for the Howling Griffins, there is a drop pod full of Grav Cannon Devastators, the Captain, the Lieutenant, the Assault Squad, the Terminators, the Chaplain, and the Storm Eagle. The Terminators and the Chaplain are in the Storm Eagle. Excellent. So, it's currently Howling Griffins turn 1. But, as Alex would say, I'm guaranteed to steal the initiative. Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
Unlucky, and I'm not going to use a command point for that. I don't think it's worth it. So, with no further ado, Howling Griffins turn 1. Okay, so end of Howling Griffins movement phase turn 1. So over in this corner, I think everything stayed still over in this corner, didn't it? With the exception of the Storm Talon, which is zipped over there. Storm Eagle has come in to hold the centre of the board. There's quite a scary cargo in there, so I'm sort of hesitant to try and destroy it because I know what's jumping out of it. Storm Talon, as we said, has zipped over to the buildings over here, and the scouts have moved forwards to grab onto Objective 2. Objective-wise, we've got Kingslayer for the Emperor, which is make a successful charge with an infantry or bike unit. Behind enemy lines, Supremacy, defend Objective 6. And Objective 6 is that one right in the centre of the board. And hold the line is the other one. So I think Supremacy is the one you're gunning for this turn, because we've got the scouts holding this objective. There's one in the middle Devastator squad and one in the trees with the Intercessors, yeah. Okay, so there's no psychic to do, so we'll go into shooting phase turn 1 for the Howling Griffins. Yeah, should be good. Okay, so that's the end of the shooting phase for the Howling Griffins in turn 1, and actually that's the end of their turn 1 because I don't think you've got any charges coming up, have you? Okie dokie, so shooting. Storm Eagle fired its las cannons and its multi-melter at the Leviathan and did 6 wounds to it in total. Then the Skyhammer missiles, oh hang on, that's not right because your Devastators did some wounds to it too. The Storm Eagle, the Devastators in the building there, and the Skyhammer missiles on the Storm Talon fired at the Leviathan and did a combination of 7 wounds. Unfortunately, I forget who did what, but I think it was the Devastators that did the most. Yeah. The Scouts in the by the fence over there killed 3 of the Chaos Space Marine squad that was here, and the twin assault cannons polished off the last 2 for first blood.
They got 2 mortal wounds, which was quite nice.
Yeah, 3 wounds, 2 of which were 6s, and I failed the last save, which was unfortunate. And the other Devastator squad here in that little ruin stripped 4 wounds off this Hellbrute down here. And that, I believe, was all of it. So points-wise, we've got Supremacy was scored. So we've got an objective here with the Intercessors, 1 with the Devastators, and 1 just there with the Scouts. So D3 objectives, or D3 victory points for that one.
Okay, there we go. Oops. 4. 2 points.
4. So 2 points for that, plus 1 for first blood. Score is currently 3-0 in favour of the Howling Griffins. And let's see if I can do anything in return. See what happens. Alright, so that's the end of the movement in turn 1 for the Word Bearers. Objective-wise, we drew the Warp is your ally, which is... Oh, there's a little spider. Hello. Which is cast a Psychic Power, or if you cast 3... Oh, and if you summon a demons and do Psychic, but I haven't got any demons. So summon a Psychic... Cast a Psychic Power. English is hard. Assassinate, kill a character. There is only 1 on the table at the moment, and he's currently in a Storm Eagle, so I don't think that's going to happen. Secure Objective 4... I think we worked out was that one down there.
Was that one over there, wasn't it?
Oh no, that's 5.
Oh, that's 5.
I think it's that one with the Intercessors. So now that I've done what I've done with my Warp Talons, which you'll see in a second, that one's a possibility. Blood and Guts kill something in the fight phase. Again, possibly. Secure Objective 5 and Scour the Skies. So kill something that flies. And Secure Objective 5 is over here. So with that in mind, I've moved this squad of Chaos Marines over to grab hold of that. This squad stayed where it was. The Lord has just jumped slightly behind the Hellbrute. He's now within range of the Havocs, the Leviathan, and both Hellbrutes for his aura of re-rolling 1s in shooting. Possessed have jumped up and over the barricade, or the barrels rather, so that's a 6-inch charge over there towards the Scouts if I wanted to. Leviathan, who's half dead, moved 5 inches forwards, closer to the Storm Eagle, hoping I might get lucky with the Grav Bombard, but hitting on 4s because it's flying is going to make it a little bit tougher. These guys advanced, got a 6 on the advance, so they're pushing forwards rather rapidly, and the 2 melter guns in there are within 6 of the Storm Eagle, so I might get lucky with a snapshot or 2. Oh, tripping over the table. And then round here, the Warp Talons and the Sorcerer have deep struck in just over 9 inches away from the Intercessors there, and we're looking to try and cause a bit of havoc in the backfield with them. So that's done. We're going to go into Psychic phase now, and depending on the results of that, we'll either come back at the end of that or in the shooting phase. Alright, so that was a more successful Psychic phase than I'm used to, in that it actually did something. So the Sorcerer cast Delightful Agonies on this squad here, so they have essentially a 5+ Feel No Pain now. And he also managed to get Warp Time off on the Warp Talons, so they've moved up 12 to make their charge into the Intercessors much easier. So with that done, we will go into shooting and see if we can get a couple more objectives. Right, so that was the largest number of needing 4s to hit and being able to reroll 1s I've ever seen, where I rolled 2s and 3s. It was fantastic. So Plasma and Bolters. Plasma from down here, 4 missile launchers, 2 las cannons, the Reaper auto cannon from there did 1 wound to a Storm Talon? 2. Oh, 2 wounds. Oh, fantastic. I'm fine then. There's no problems. 2 wounds. 2 wounds to the Storm Talon over there. More successful this side. The 2 melters didn't do anything, I don't think, to the Storm Eagle. But then the Leviathan, with a combination of its guns, the 2 Hellflamers, the Melter Gun, and the Gravflux Bombard, did 7 wounds to him. So he's down to 9, not quite on the next bracket down, but close. And then down here, a Plasma Pistol from the Sorcerer pinged a wound off an Intercessor. So that's that. I'm not unhappy with that. I'll stay positive. I'm not unhappy with that. It's now the assault phase. So, it's now the charge phase, rather. So, I have 2 charges to declare. My Possessed are going into your Scouts. and my Warp Talons, sorry, 3 charges, I beg your pardon. Possessed into the Scouts, Warp Talons into the Intercessors, and the Sorcerer is going to try for the Intercessors as well. So if you would like to Overwatch with your Scouts, this is where you get all of the 6s for wounding, and they just all die.
Yep. That one?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Right.
Don't roll another one of them, please.
No.
4. Okay, it is a wound though.
Yeah.
So 3 up. So 1 takes a wound. And we measured this before, and we reckon it's a 6-inch charge. So that's a 7. That'll do. So 1 takes a wound, and they make it into combat. And then before we move them, we'll move over to this side. I'm going to charge my Warp Talons first. Unsurprisingly.
So 10
into
shots.
the Intercessors. 2 hits, nice. Toughness 4. There's a 2 and a 5. So 3 up save. Fine. That's good. And charge, that's about 1.5 inches. So yeah, they're fine. And then I'm going to give the Sorcerer a go because he can't be overwatched against, and it gets him closer to where he needs to be. So that's a 9 on him. There's a 4 and a 3. 7. So he fails, which is fine. So we will sort this out, and we'll come back at the end of the fight phase. So the fight phase more than made up for the terrible shooting phase, I think, I confidently say. We also realised we made a bit of a cock-up. You can't Overwatch against Warp Talons when they charge on the turn that they've deep struck. So it's a good job we didn't kill any of them, because otherwise...
a -1 AP as well.
Yes, I bought Raff as a -1. So they charged in. They killed 4 of the Intercessors. They did 7 wounds in total. 8 wounds in total. Yep, so there was 1 that was already wounded, and they killed off the other 4. And then took no wounds in return. And then over here, the Possessed made short work of the Scouts and have consolidated round the corner towards the Devastators over there. So we've got the morale phase to do. If you'd like to roll for your Intercessor.
Right. So
Sergeant, so is that 8?
yeah, I need 4 or less.
Yes.
Oh, and that's a 4.
Marvellous. That's cool. So they're fine there.
Yeah.
So objective-wise, I scored the Warp as your ally because I cast a Psychic Power, or manifested a Psychic Power rather. I got secure objective 5 because unfortunately that Intercessor Sergeant is just outside of 3 inches of that objective, so I'm outnumbering him on it. And I got Blood and Guts for destroying a unit in the fight phase with my Possessed over in the corner over there. So that's the end of that. I'm not going to ditch any objectives, I don't think. Oh no, hang on, I beg your pardon. I got secure objective 4 because your Intercessor Sergeant's not close enough to the thing. And I got secure objective 5 over there. I knew there were 2 cards that I had and I just confused myself. So that's objective 5. I've secured that one. So I'm going to keep Scour the Skies because eventually I will kill something that flies. And I'm going to keep Assassinate because I hope to eventually kill a character. So that's the end of, what am I? Word Bearers, turn 1. So the score is 4 points to 3 currently. I'm going into Howling Griffins turn 2. So, start of turn 2 for the Howling Griffins. What are we looking like objective-wise? Secure objective 2 is the new one that we drew this turn. Unfortunately, that's under a pile of possessed Marines. We've still got Kingslayer, still got For the Emperor, which is make a charge behind enemy lines and hold the line, which you might well be able to grab this turn if you can kill enough of my Warp Talons. So, movement-wise, the Storm Talon has jumped straight forwards, essentially. 20 inches, minimum required move. Storm Eagle has done the same, just coming straight across this way.
Formation point.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to the little scissor effect that's going to happen over there in a second, next turn. Terminators and the Chaplain jumped out. They've got a couple of different things they could go after, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there when we get to the charging and assault phase. Drop pod with the Grav Devastators has come in here, so we've got decent lines of fire into my 15-man Chaos Space Marine squad or my poor little Sorcerer. I just tripped over the table again. Or my poor little Sorcerer down here, who would not survive very long. The Intercessor Sergeant has fallen back from combat, leaving my Warp Talons, unfortunately, very susceptible to some shooting. Tacticals have jumped out and forwards to get everybody within rapid fire range. 2 Devastator squads here haven't moved. And the captain, the lieutenant, and the assault squad have dropped in the middle there. So everything, I believe, is now on the board for both armies. So it's now just a big, so it's now just a big slugfest, and we'll see who comes out at the end, Emperor's Finest or not the Emperor's Finest. So we'll go into the shooting phase for the Howling Griffins now, and we'll see what happens at the end of that. Okay, so that was a much more successful shooting phase than turn 1 was for the Howling Griffins. The Storm Talon killed 4 of the Havocs, so there's just one little missile launcher guy left in there, hoping desperately that he passes his morale test. The Storm Eagle blew up the Hellbrute that was there with its multi-melters and did 3 more wounds to the Leviathan. No, 2 more wounds to the Leviathan with its las cannons. And then the Vengeance launchers fired over here, and I think I maybe saved, or maybe it killed 1. Yeah. No shooting in the middle because they're all melee dudes. The grav cannons here killed 4 of my close combat squad. The storm bolter fired at the sorcerer but didn't do anything, unfortunately. The grav pistol on the captain missed. The plasma pistol on the lieutenant killed a guy from the squad, and then the other pistols didn't do anything there, unfortunately. And then over here, flippin' heck. So a full Devastator squad there with the las cannons and the missile launchers, and the full 10-man tactical squad killed 8 of my warp talons. No, beg your pardon, 6 of my warp talons, because they started with 8. So if they survive to the morale phase, they're probably going to be running away quite a lot. As are they. I wouldn't be surprised if a number of them ran away, and the Havoc over in the far side. But we shall see. So it's on to assaults. Have you got any charges to declare?
I have, yes.
Okay. Right. So where would you like to go?
They're going to go into them.
Okay, I have no Overwatch.
And I think they will go into him as well.
Is he allowed to?
Oh, no, he can't. No, he's fell back.
Yeah, okay, because he fell back. That's right.
And then the Terminators there are going to go into the Leviathan.
Oh, he's going to Overwatch that. He's going to love that.
And they're going to try and go into them.
Okie dokie.
The assault squad there might as well.
Yep, that's cool. Okay, so where would you like to start?
I'll start with the tactical squad.
Cool. I have no Overwatch, so...
That's easy. Oh, I can't, can I? Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can. That's
Keep
7th
thinking
edition.
rapid fire. Yeah, you're right. So, there we go.
3 out of 5, you're most definitely in.
Right, he can't. The
Assault squad? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 2 melter guns, which is 1 hit. That is a 4 in the trees there, so that is a wound.
Right.
I believe they're -4 melter guns.
I can check.
I think they are.
Should know already. Multi-melters are actually, aren't
Yeah.
they? Melter gun, yeah, he's -4, so it's going to go through.
Yeah, so that's 1 dead then.
So we'll take
And then let's work out who's in range for pistols. 1. I'm going to say 1. So 1 pistol shot with a bolt pistol misses on a 4.
Right.
So you need a 12.
12, nice. It's
Yeah.
going to be unlikely, but we'll see.
Let's have a look. So this is just the assault squad, is it?
Yeah, I didn't declare the other ones, did I? So.
No, what? Still can. That's a 1. This is 1. Oh, and a 6 there. Come on, point.
I'm going to.
Okay,
yeah.
why not?
See what happens.
Oh,
no.
So close. You can declare the other 2 if you wanted to, but then they've got to eat multi-melters.
No,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
right.
No, it's fine.
And then, right, go on then.
Terminators?
Into the Termies.
Okay. Is the chaplain charging as well, just out of interest? Okay. But Terminators first.
Yes.
Okay. So, 2 Hell Flamers.
Right.
D6 shots each. That's 5. They are strength 5.
Okay.
So they wound you on 3s, which isn't bad. That's in fact that's all of them. They are, I believe, -1 and 2 damage apiece.
Okay.
They are -1 and 2 damage apiece. Yes.
Right. Okay. So if I miss one, it's a dead turn.
It is, yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh God!
That's
look at
2,
that.
3 dead Terminators.
Right. I've already used a command point.
Yes, you did to reroll that, yeah.
So, that's That's a blow. Right, oh well, never mind. 3-0.
Okay. Multi-melter? Sorry, melter gun.
Sergeant then, we have the sergeant back.
Melter gun.
Yeah.
Misses. And D3 shots from the Grav Flux Bombard is 2. Hitting on 6s. That's a 6, unfortunately, there. This is strength 9, I think,
right,
from what I remember. So it's 2s. Is a wound. It's -5, so it's just your invulnerable save.
Storm Shield.
And it's 2 damage.
Okay.
Let's say 3 in the middle, so he's fine.
Excellent.
Yep.
Right.
So they passed that.
So they're going in there.
Yep, you probably need a 2, maybe a 3. Yep. Miles in. Chaplain is also in. Perfect.
So we'll in a minute. Cool.
Yep. So no more charges to declare, I don't think.
No.
So we'll get onto the fight phase and we'll come back in a mo. Okay, so that's the end of the. We did film Overwatch, didn't we? And charges. I think we did. But I'll just very quickly... Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So, assault phase, what happened? So, the Terminators did nothing to the Leviathan, the Chaplain did nothing to the Leviathan, and the Leviathan did nothing to the Chaplain. So they are having a nice little cuddle in the middle of the board. And then over here, in a very aggressive display for Tactical Marines, they charged in and murdered the remaining 2 Warp Talons. So that was pretty effective. And that's showing the Assault Terminators how it's supposed to be done. Did you score anything objective-wise?
Right, let's have a look. What we got? Hold the line I've got now.
You do.
Now, is that count for behind enemy lines?
Yes.
Okay. Make a successful charge.
You just certainly did that.
I haven't got Kingslayer, and objective 2 is that one there,
possessed one.
I haven't got.
Okay. Are any of those D3s, or are they all 1s?
No, they're all 1.
Okie dokes. Alright, cool. So you scored 3, so the score goes...
I'll discard that one as well.
That's the objective 2. Okay, cool. So score goes to... I can't remember, I forgot to note it down last turn.
I was on 3.
I think you're on 6 now.
And you're on 4.
And I'm on... 4. Yes, correct. So 6 points to 4 in the favour of the Howling Griffins. Morale phase. Do you want to start with your Terminators? I think they're leadership 9.
Yeah, and they can lose.
So actually they can't fail. They can't fail anyway.
9 as well,
yeah.
So they lost 3.
Fortunately, my Warp Talons didn't have to run away. So I don't have to roll that. My Havocs lost 4.
Yeah.
They are. I took the Sergeant away, so I need a 1 or a 2 or a 3. That's a 4. But I can re-roll because I'm Word Bearers. That's a 6. Okay, so he runs away, and they are gone. These guys in the middle lost 5, so they need a 1, a 2, or a 3 because the Sergeant is still in there at leadership 8. That is a 6. They can re-roll because they were. I'm going to get rid of that die. I'm going to use this dice instead. That's better. That's better. They're fine. Okay, so 6 points to 3. Yeah, 6 points to 4. I think we just said. Interesting to see where this is going to go, because I'm running out of men and guns, and you've got scary things and guns.
They're not.
They're not scary. No. I was tempted to charge them with my Chaplain, with my Chaos Lord, but I don't think I'm going to bother, because they're just going to stand there for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I need to draw a couple of cards, and we'll get on to turn 2 for the Word Bearers, and come back in a moment. Okay, so that's the end of movement phase, turn 2 for the Word Bearers. So what's happened? The remnants of the close combat squad has moved around the woods, going to go and charge in over there at those assault things, which I'm not sure which one I'm going to charge yet, whether the captain, lieutenant, or the squad. Sorcerer's moved over so I can warp time these guys in the psychic phase. Leviathan's obviously in combat. Hellbrute has come up and round and is going to try and get into the Chaplain, and it should put me within 3 inches of that objective, which helps get me Supremacy, and that potentially gets me Assassinate as well if I get really lucky. These guys have just shuffled around a bit to grab onto that objective. Same here for this other Chaos Space Marine squad. And the Possessed are just sort of having a little conga line down the back of the Howling Griffins board edge. Oh yes, holding on to this objective because I need to defend that objective, but I also want to be closer to the Howling Griffins over there so I can eat them. And then the Lord, in what's probably a display of reckless bravado, and unnecessary stupidity, is going to charge the Storm Eagle, because I've got the fly keyword because he has a jump pack. And I might be able to do something with the Cursed Crozius. We've sort of talked it through, and I might be able to sneak one through, and that'll knock you down to the next level. So, you know, I'm unlikely to kill it, but we shall see. So, with no further waffling, and or indeed ado, let's go on to the Psychic phase, and we'll come back after that. Right, that's the end of the Psychic phase, turn 2. Warp Time successfully cast on the Wordbearer unit there. Unfortunately putting the Lieutenant as the closest model, so he's about to take 2 melter guns to the face, and possibly some pistols too. And I failed to cast Delightful Agonies, so they don't have Feel No Pain this turn. We'll go into shooting now, and see if I can make some dents in some things, and then we'll come back after that. So, shooting phase, turn 2 for the Wordbearer is over and done with. The melter guns, or the plasma pistol rather, shot at the lieutenant that was there and failed to wound. Thankfully I didn't overcharge it because I rolled a 1 to hit. The 2 melter guns from this unit fired at the lieutenant, and all the pistols fired at the intercessor. No wounds to the intercessor, but killed the lieutenant with the use of a command point to re-roll the number of wounds. Got 4 for that. Moving this way, these guys here put 6 wounds on the Storm Eagle. Oh no, beg your pardon. They put 3 wounds on the Storm Eagle with a combination of plasma and bolt of fire. And then my Lord tucked in under there using the Demon Shell stratagem, put 3 mortal wounds on him, which was quite nice. So this guy's now down to 3, and I'm going to charge him in the assault phase in a second with my Lord. And then over here, this squad put a couple of wounds on the Storm Talon that was there with a combination of pistols and bolters and plasma, and then the 2 las cannons from the Hellbrute there finished off his last wounds.
With another strategy?
Yes, using the Blasphemous Machine stratagem to ignore the penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons. So that's all that's the end of the shooting. Charges, I've got 2. No, I'm going to say 3, actually. I'm going to say 3. So we've got this squad going into the Assault Marines. I can't make it round to the captain, can I don't think. Yeah, he's a bit too far away, I think. The Lieutenant, nope, that was the guy I killed a second ago. The Sorcerer is also going into... No, the Sorcerer's going into the Intercessor, around the corner. And the Captain, and the Lord, I keep using all your Space Marine terms, and the Chaos Lord is going into the Storm Eagle.
Right.
So, it's your Overwatch. Which would you like to do first?
Let's start this side.
Okay, cool. So, if you want to do the Intercessor then?
So, Intercessor then.
Yep.
Actually, can you see him?
Oh, I don't know.
You can't see him.
No?
Can't watch.
Okie dokie. So, it's probably going to be a 10, I would suggest. It's not a 6. And I haven't got any command points left, so I can't do anything with it. These guys?
Okay, right.
So, they're just charging the assault squad.
So we've got 6.
6 shots. Okay, this is where I lose my whole squad.
3.
Yep. Okay. So 3. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to come over here so I'm not leaning over the table with rolling dice. So 3 3s. Well, 1 dies. So I'm going to take that guy from the back. You've got plasma, 2
pistols,
2 plasma pistols and a pistol.
Right, the brown ones are the plasma. I'm not overcharging.
Okie dokie.
No.
Nope, and a good job you're not overcharging. Okay, so charge of 7.
Yeah.
So they're definitely in. We'll move them round in a mo. And I wonder if actually I could have reached the captain. But it's too late now. I had another charge to declare as well, and I forgot about it. This one?
Okay. Right. 4 las cannon shots.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Right, this is an important one to do.
Closer.
Yeah,
right, so 4 las cannons.
No.
2 multi-melters.
Yep.
There's 1.
Oh, there's 1. That's all it needs.
Right.
Yeah, 2's to wound.
2's to wound. That's a 4.
That's a wound. 4 up a vulnerable save for the Sigil of Corruption. Okay, he's got 4 wounds.
Right.
And you do d6 damage. And you're within 12 inches, so you roll twice and pick the highest. Oh, well, this is a bad idea.
There's a 4.
Ah!
I'll go for the 4.
Okay, Chaos Lord's dead. That was terrible. What a mistake. But could have been hilarious if it had panned out. And the other charge I was going to do was the Hellbrute into the Chaplain.
Go on. Well, they can't overwatch anyway.
No, that's true. So he goes 9. Just to make sure people can actually see that. So he's going to go there to grab that objective. Oh, I'm so sad about that. I'm actually genuinely quite sad about that. Right, okay, so let's do the fighting and then we'll come back at the end of the combat phase. Okay, much to my joy, I'm now very, very happy. Chaos Lords have 5 wounds. Who'd have thought it, aside from people that actually read their own codex? So, he's down...
Spend a command point to re-roll that.
Oh, you swine. Okay. That's a 3. No. Okay, so he's still down 4. So he's got 1 left, and now you've got Vengeance Launcher.
2d6 shots.
2d6 shots.
So that's 8 shots.
No. Okay, 8 shots, hitting on 6s. I reckon you'll get 3.
Oh, it's alright, I'll use this one. 2.
Okay, wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
2 wounds, 3 up save. Come on, Chaos Lord, don't make me cry for a second time this evening. Oh my Oh, okay, well, you know, it's worth a try again. So, yeah, that was that. We'll come back we'll move these guys into the fight there, the Hellbrute's in, and we'll resolve everything and come back at the end of that. Again, crying. Right, that's the end of the fight phase for Wordbearer's turn 2, and that was significantly more impressive than we've seen in any other fight phases so far. So the Hellbrute and the Hellbrute charged in, did 3 wounds to the Chaplain, marked and interrupted, and destroyed the Leviathan with the Thunderhammer Terminators.
Finally.
Unfortunately, it didn't explode. That would have been entertaining. Then we moved over here, and my Marines with chainswords killed all of the Assault Marines, which neither of us were expecting to happen. The Lord punched back and killed 2 with his Power Maul, and the Chaplain then hit back the Hellbrute and did 1 damage to him there. So we've got a morale test to do. I've lost 3 from this squad in the middle. Their leadership is 8 because the Sergeant's still alive, or Champion's still alive. So anything but a 6. That's a 5. 5 plus 3 is 8, they're fine. And that was the only loss we had. So points-wise that turn, I got Assassinate because I killed your Lieutenant with a melter gun to the face. I got Scour the Skies because of the Storm Talon that was over there. And I got Supremacy for this one, that one, and Objective 2 over there. So that's D3 points. Of course. For 1. So that's another 3, which I believe makes the score 7 points to 6.
I've got Kingslayer as well now.
Which makes the score 8. Yes, so you're guaranteed that point basically. So yeah, that makes it 7 points to 6 in the favour of the Wordbearers now. Unfortunately, I didn't get hold the line because he killed my Lord, and I'm halfway through defending Objective 2, so I'll turn that upside down so I remember that I can get it at the end of your turn. So, with that said, turn 3 Howling Griffins coming up. So, cards for turn 3. This is turn 3, isn't it? For the Howling Griffins, we have Kingslayer left over from last time, and that is a guaranteed point because he killed my Warlord last turn, so D3 points. Secure Objective 4, which is this one down here, so he's got a point for that. Death from Above, get the kill something, get the last wound off a unit with something that has fly. So we've got the Warlord down there with the jump pack who has a grav pistol that might be able to do it, or we've got the Storm Eagle over there. Now he's probably hitting on 5s now, but you know, he's got a lot of shots. And then we've got Witch Hunter, Killer Psyker, and we'll move into the movement now because I'm going to discuss Witch Hunter in a sec. So Tactical Squad has moved up, Heavy Bolters stayed still. They're going to pour some shots into my Chaos Space Marine squad there, and the Intercessor Sergeant just moved back a bit to guarantee that objective there in case you were to charge away from it. Round here, the Grav Cannon squad have peeked their little heads around the building, and they can see my my Sorcerer just there. They're all in range. He's the closest target. So that's going to be 4 grav cannons firing at my sorcerer. So I can, I think Witch Hunter's probably a pretty safe bet. As we saw, the Warlord with the jump pack, the captain, left combat from over there, jumped over here. The chaplain's also left combat, or fallen back rather, from combat with the Hellbrute, leaving that available to be shot at. And the Storm Eagle has done a 90 and moved over there. So, shooting phase, turn 3 for the Howling Griffins. I'm predicting at least 3 of my units will no longer be on the table at the end of this, I reckon. We'll see. Right, so end of the shooting phase, turn 3 for the Howling Griffins, and that was fairly good, actually, I have to say. Well, you say, but they're probably going to run away. So 5 more of my Chainsword Chaos Space Marines got killed. Combination of the Intercessor, the Tacticals, and that Devastator squad over there. The Sorcerer is no more. The Grav Cannons saw to that. The Hellbrute took 5 wounds from somewhere. From the Storm Eagle, the Multi-Melter and the Las Cannons. The Vengeance Launchers fired over at my Chaos Space Marine squad there, but unfortunately didn't do any wounds to him. And the Tactical squad here in this building killed 3 of my Possessed. What did I say? Tactical. They are definitely Devastators. They have too many guns to be Tacticals. Yes, so they killed 3 of my Possessed, so I've got a leadership test on them in the morale phase. Crazed on my Hellbrute. It's the end of the shooting phase. He shoots the closest target. He has a Heavy Flamer at your Terminators. Is 4, in case that didn't pick up properly on the camera. Wounding on 3s is 1, 2, 3 wounds.
-1.
-1.
So 3 ups.
So what's over here? There's a 2 and a 4, and I think there's only 1 damage on Heavy Flamer.
Okay.
I'll double check that though.
That's fine.
Heavy Flamer. It is, yeah. Strength 5, -1 and 1. So we then have 2 Las Cannons, which is 1 hit and 1 wound. So 3 up because of your
3 up and vulnerable.
thingamajigger, Storm Shield.
So 1.
Okie doke, so that guy's dead.
He's dead.
Because it's a minimum of 1. So that was exciting. Right, so that's the end of this shooting phase for the Howling Griffins, and I've just shot him in his shooting phase, which is lovely. Have you got any charges to declare?
Yes.
Okie dokes.
Right. The captain can't charge.
Nope.
But the Terminator is going to go in first, and followed by the. No, he can't because he fell back at me.
Yeah, Chaplain can't.
Chaplain can't, but the Terminator will.
Okay.
And I will have a go at charging in then as well.
Alright, wonderful. Which one would you like to do first?
I'll do the one in the middle first.
Okay, so Hellbrute.
Yeah.
Heavy Flamer. 2 shots. Or 2 hits, rather. Wounding on 3s. Here's a 3 and a 3, so 2 wounds. And -1, so 3 ups. He takes a wound. And 2 Las Cannons.
I rolled your dice.
Is 2 misses on that, so he's definitely in because he's just outside of an inch, so that's fine.
Yeah. Right.
Lovely. And then we'll move over here. We've got a melter gun there, which misses, and a bolt pistol or a frag grenade, because that's for more shots. That's basically more shot bolt pistol. I'm gonna throw a frag grenade at you. D6 hits, or D6 shots rather.
Yeah.
So that is 6. Indeed. So that is 6 shots. Need 6s.
1.
There's 1 in there. Wounding on 4s. No wounds. Okay. And I would say you need I would say you're in, regardless of what you roll, because a 2 will get you within an inch.
5.
And that's a 5. A 3 and a 2. Marvellous. So we'll move them in. We'll get the combats resolved, and we'll be back after the fight phase. Right. So that's the end of the fight phase. In turn 3 for the Howling Griffins. Far too confusing. The Terminator killed the Hellbrute and it didn't explode, unfortunately. And then down here, the Tacticals charged in, killed one of my guys, and then I punched one of his guys to death with a Power Fist, which was nice. So they're in combat, like So we're on to the morale phase now, and this is where it's going to sting. Because I lost 6 from that squad in the middle, which means I need a 1 or a 2 to not run away.
But you can reroll.
I can reroll, but that's a 6.
There's a 1.
Oh, I survived! I was really expecting him to die then. And the possessed over there lost 3. So they are leadership 8. So they are fine, which is lovely. So objective-wise, you get D3 for Kingslayer.
Yeah. So that
If you'd like to roll yourself a D3, that is a 1.
1, right.
You probably have a command point left if you want it.
Yeah, I will use that.
Sure thing.
And
2.
2. So it
Okay.
2.
And do you keep your command point?
On a 5, I keep forgetting that. Yes, it's a 6.
Okay,
So I'll keep that
marvellous.
one.
So you just got a free extra victory point.
Yeah. Secure objective 4.
Yep, which is this one down here. And you've got Witch Hunter, which is over there.
Well. I'll keep hold of death from above.
Yep, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, and I scored 2 points. Defend objective 2 in your turn, which is lovely. So I get 2 points. I'm going to keep wandering over here. So I'm on 9 points, and you got an additional 4, is that?
Yes.
So the score now is 10 points, and you've got Warlord kill. The score is 11 points to 10. No, 11 points to 9 in the favour of the Howling Griffins. So we're going into... What am I? Word Bearers? Turn 3 now. And we'll see what we can do with a couple of Chaos Space Marine squads and some Possessed. Right. It's turns out this were Love 40k. We didn't do this fight actually, which we'll do in a second. We'll do it on camera in a sec. In fact, let's do that now before I go over the turn recap. So, Power Fist.
Yeah.
Is 1 hit with a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I just need to work out where the best place to see that is. And a 2. That was a 6. And is a -3.
6 up.
Yeah.
Is a 1.
Okay, so 1 is dead.
1 gone. Right, so I'll take...
Okie dokie. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because you then pile in. So we'll then move everybody to within an inch of an inch of an inch, or however it works out.
Is it 10 now?
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is indeed.
Right, so... on 3s.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I don't know, I reckon
Right.
you probably still do him.
4s. 4 armor saves, please.
4. I think you've got him. If I'm honest with you. 4.
There he goes.
That's a 1. He dead. You can consolidate. That's him dead. That's my dead pile over there, just while we're moving around the room. Right, so while you're consolidating, I will give the turn overview, which was as exciting as it was brief. So, we did a combined turn because I only had like 2 units that I was actually moving, and then there was a fight, and that was about it. So we've done this combined turn 3. So, squad over there, 5-man, stayed where they were in the hopes of putting all their firepower into the Storm Eagle and hopefully bringing it down. Overcharging Plasma. He dead, and no wounds from anything else. This squad here moved out in the hopes of getting some shots into the Chaplain and potentially even getting a charge. Overcharging Plasma. He's dead too, which is cool. And then I put a wound on him with a bolt pistol. Then you killed one of my guys in Overwatch. And then I failed my charge, which was lovely. The Possessed moved round 7 inches, tried to charge the Terminator in the middle, and I failed that too. But fortunately, you didn't kill any in Overwatch because you haven't got any. But otherwise, I would have expected you to have done. So I killed. I think we're even actually. I think you've killed 2 of mine,
Right.
and I've killed 2 of mine in this turn. Okay. So I think we finally balanced that one out. Points wise, I didn't get hold the line because the Storm Eagle's still alive. I don't get area denial because all of that mess in the middle's still alive. I don't get defend objective 4 because it's there, a million miles away from my lines with an intercessor sergeant sat on it. And I don't get defend objective 1 because that's there. And I'm never going to grab that. I could never have got that even from the beginning. But anyway,
Choose one to discard.
I do, yes, I'm going to. I'm going to discard defend objective 1, I think, because I'm not even vaguely going to get that one. And now, because you killed 2 out of that squad, I can't fail because I'm leadership 8, -2, 6. Okay, that's fine. So we'll go into Howling Griffins turn 4, because you went first, didn't you? Howling Griffons turn 4, and we shall see what happens at the end. Right, so turn 4, Howling Griffins. We've got Death from Above still in the hand, which is kill something with a unit that has the fly keyword. On your chapter, that's the one where you need to damage a character with one of your characters. Yes. And mission critical objective, I think you rolled the 5 for that one, didn't you? And 5's over here, so yeah, unlikely to be able to score that one, unfortunately. So Devastators, stayed still, did what Devastators do. Tacticals moved up and through the trees. Heavy Bolters stayed still. They're all drawing a bead on the Possessed in the building there. And the Intercessor has just moved around a bit, so he's also able to draw a bead through to them. Grav Destroyers, no, not Destroyers, Devastators, have moved up from behind the building. They're in range, a couple of them at least, of my... Okay, cool. Front 2. In range of my Chaos Space Marine squad there. Captain's jumped over. Did he advance as well?
No.
No, just moved up. And the 2 Terminators, the Chaplain and the normal Terminator, have moved up to be very close to my lines. Oh yes, and the Storm Eagle is in hover mode and is just backed up a smidge, looking to presumably shoot everything in there. So, shooting phase. Turn 4 for the Howling Griffins. I'll tell you what, if he kills... Alright, I'll come to that in a sec. Right, so that's the end of the shooting phase for the Howling Griffins in turn 4, and it was pretty effective. The Grav Cannons here killed 2 of my squad that was here, and the Grav Pistol from the Captain killed the final guy, the Sergeant, the Champion. So that's Death from the Skies, or Death from Above, or whatever it's called. The Intercessor... Both Devastator squads, the tactical squad, fired at my Possessed and killed a total of 3. There were a couple of unlucky ones rolled on your multi-wound weapons and things, but because that could have been very nasty. And then, the final round of shooting, I rolled 3 out of 4 invulnerable saves, which was a little over the top, even for me. So, now... The Storm Eagle killed the remaining 3 out of that squad of Chaos Marines, and he's now going to charge that Space Marine Champion. I've got Overwatch. I'm going to crack grenade you. That's a 1. Right. Okay.
Here we go. Okay. So what we can do if we can get in.
I reckon it's
5 inches.
5? Are you 6 inches away? Maybe. Let's have a look.
Right. No,
just too far. Okay.
All
right. So, unfortunately, no charge there. So you got a point for Death from Above. Yeah. Okay, so that puts it on 12 points to 9, I think, in your favour. I have 1 morale test to do with my Possessed, who lost 3, and they're fine with a 2.
And I'm going to discard on your chapter because you haven't cancelled it.
Sure. Okay. So now. This is where we get to the point of where I am, unfortunately, I'm going to concede. Because you're 4 points ahead, or 3 points ahead. I've got Hold the Line, which I can't do, I haven't got enough units. I've got Area Denial, which I won't be able to do because you've got too many units. And Defend Objective 4, which is over there. And my closest models are over there, and I wouldn't be able to get to them even if I tried. So, I apologise, but I feel like there's no way I can make up that number of victory points, and I certainly won't be able to table you. 4 models left on the table, I think. Is that 3 Possessed and a Champion over there? Which reminds me, he needs to do a morale test. Because they lost 3.
You did that, didn't you?
No, I did the Possessed one. Okay, so he's fine too. Yeah. So, I had really good fun.
Yeah, me too.
Actually.
That's good.
There was a number of turns during that game where I was convinced I was going to win. A couple of times where it felt like I did a significant amount of damage to you. But then, equally, every time that happened, you did it back to me the turn after. So it was in my mind, it was very backwards and forwards. And points-wise, I think it's closer than it should be. Based on what, at least based on what's left on the board.
I did forget to do one of the stratagems. I was going to do the all-spec scan down here.
Oh yeah, Overwatch.
I forgot to do that.
Yes. You're going to essentially intercept on the warp talons.
Yes.
But hey, they got what they deserved in the end anyway, didn't they? They got murdered by tactical marines, which is probably a little bit embarrassing for a warp talent now that I think about it. So, with the exception of your stratagem, if we were to play this game exactly the same again, same lists and everything, what would you do differently?
Not a lot, I don't think.
No?
I was hoping to get the dreadnoughts to explode in the middle
Yes.
of the beginning. That would have been quite funny.
Yes.
But no, I think they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree.
You made me drop pod over here. I was going to put them back in your lines. So
Okay, yes.
But because you had guys over here, I had to clear them out of my way.
Yes.
So I sort of changed what I was going to do with those.
But I think it worked out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, they were a mile away from everything, but they killed the sorcerer and the squad over there, and they took some wounds off the squad in the middle. They did all right. Okay, next question. What is your unit of the game?
Ooh. Unit of the game?
It's a tough one, actually, because
it
everybody's done a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Storm Eagle probably, because it did soak up a lot of fire.
It did, yes.
And it got you worried as well.
It did, yes. But I have to say, I'm very glad it's still alive because, like I said at the beginning, I've got one to build. Yeah. But, hey, he got Slay the Warlord for you.
He did, yeah, on Overwatch.
On Overwatch. Which, yeah, you know, it was good fun. And I'm very glad you got in contact with us.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
It was very much fun. And I hope we can get a chance to do it again.
Love to.
And I'm sure all of the other guys would want to play against you because this was great fun, and I want to play against you again. Yeah. But maybe with a slightly different list. Maybe with one of my Xiphons to take out your Storm Eagle.
Hoping to get some more Primara stuff painted.
Ah, yes.
Bolster and a Assault Raven on the way. So.
You haven't got any Hellblasters, have you?
I've got 15 ready to be built.
Oh, for goodness, that's exactly what Will ran last time I played it, and they murdered everything of mine. Yes, okay, so let's wrap this up before my brain explodes.
You haven't said your MVP yet?
I haven't, but that's because I don't really know that I had one. The Sorcerer, because he did some psychic stuff that got me into combat when I needed to. The Leviathan, because he took a ton of fire at the beginning and then held up your Terminators and killed 3 of them on Overwatch,
that was good.
Which was awesome. But realistically, he didn't make anywhere near his points back. The Heroic Chaos Lord, I'm going to give it to him. Just because of what he tried to do, I'm going to give it to the Lord. He didn't actually do anything in the game, but he tried to charge a Storm Eagle. So we'll give it to him. Doing things differently, I probably would have either spread out more, or I probably would have put the Hellbrutes more towards the edge of my deployment zone, and probably more on the flanks, so that they would have been sort of round here by turn 2 instead of being sat back here, just to give you more things to worry about and splitting fire and all that sort of thing. But yeah, that was really good fun, and I look forward to playing you again. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you enjoyed that. We had a laugh. There were some very, very funny moments in that we both enjoyed a lot. And if you fancy coming and giving us a game, hit us up on YouTube. There's an email address on our About page if you don't do things like Twitter and stuff, or if you don't do YouTube messages, just drop us an email and we can arrange a game through that. So that is, unfortunately for me, a victory for the viewers. So Arthur's going to have much enjoyment putting 2 losses against my name on the final card for this. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!